Welcome back, Wheel of SNES, Season 5, Episode 7.
57.
57. We drew this week. We've had some good ones this season. And this week, to see if we can continue, we got Brunswick World Tournament of... I think it's Brunswick World Tournament of Champions.
I don't know. I mean, I don't understand how it's wrote, so I'm just going to go with whatever you tell me.
I think it's Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. And so I've been showing Josh some of the games I bought. One thing I haven't mentioned to Josh is I do actually have I bought this one complete in box.
You do have Brunswick's World Tournament Champions.
So
that's awesome.
So Josh, it's a pretty beat up little box.
It's a little beat up box, but it's not bad.
It's got some manuals and stuff. It's complete in box. Looks like the manual's been eaten by a damn honey badger in here. But the illness grows, so we at least got...
I can't bash you for this one after Roger Clemens.
Yeah, Roger Clemens was pretty bad. So actually, when I jump in here and read this, I've actually got it copied on here in a very.
But you got to read.
I got to read it from the back of the actual box.
Yeah.
Josh. Are you ready for this?
I am.
Let me get a drink of beer for this.
Oh man.
It says, "Welcome to Brunswick World Tournament of Champions, the most realistic bowling simulation available for your Super NES. Choose from 6 different tournaments and compete against 11 of your favorite Brunswick pro bowlers in some high-stakes tournament play or kick back in an old-fashioned good time with a few friends. Either way, it's never been so easy to enjoy a sport that everybody loves." Then it goes down to the bullet points. Authentic tournament structures, rules, and Brunswick equipment. 11 Brunswick's pros, including Walter Ray Williams Jr., Mike Albee, Johnny Petraglia, Curtis Odom, and Randy Peterson. Tournament league and practice modes for hours of fun at any level. Instant replay feature to catch your best pin action again and again. So what's that sound like to you, Josh?
Sounds like a bowling game.
It sounds like a fucking bowling game.
Sounds like a bowling game.
And one thing I wonder if this thing's got the little plastic sleeve on the back.
Oh, you haven't actually opened it?
Nope, it does not. And it does say Club Video. So I'm guessing this was a rental card that I have, which is fine. It's actually kind of cool. This one's just got it wrote in marker. I do, even though I like my games to be clean, I do appreciate if one's got like an old rental store sticker with the phone number on it.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily peel it off unless it's just been getting it, you know. So a little bit about it does. It sounds like a prototypical bowling game. So one thing I think we learned last week was there's only been 2 bowling games for the Super Nintendo.
Yep. And we drew one.
And we drew one of them. The other one is not. This one's more of a realistic simulation. The other one's more of a
wacky.
It kind of reminds me of like Punch Out. Almost.
Yeah, it's like a wacky bowl type deal.
So Brunswick World Tournament of Champions was released in August of '97. It was developed by Tiertex, Tiertex Design Studios. They had a lot of games on the Master System, Game Gear, and Game Boy. But they did actually work on NBA Live 98 on Super Nintendo, which I just got. And that lot of it in box.
He does own it too.
And we do have a soft spot for some NBA Lives.
Only 95.
Only 95.
Because it sounds the best.
It was published by Black Pearl. And it's a bowling game. I guess I'll ask it. I guess you have to. But would you consider bowling a sport, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be a sport, right?
I used to go bowling all the time. It works you out. It's fucking miserable if you bowl for like 6 hours in one day and never done it before.
Yeah, that is true.
You pull a lot of muscles that you didn't know you had.
Is it the muscles that are worse or your thumb just continually to get raped, you know?
Muscles for me, because the way I bowl, I don't use my thumb.
Well, I get my thumb knuckle deep in
there. Dude,
so.
I'm not a thumber.
I'm a thumber and a gummer, I guess. I don't know. So this is a single and a multiplayer bowling game. Obviously, Super Nintendo. So you're sitting on the couch doing it. I've got down here, it's the plot, Josh, and I probably need a little help on this. It's a bowling game that allows you to play as one of the bowlers in the game or customize your own, and you go against pros in tournament or league games. And the way they you actually bowl is with a power meter and a spin meter to control. But it's bowling.
It's bowling.
Now, I will say this, for bowling, I don't know a whole lot of people that hate bowling.
Yeah, I mean,
some people are like, bowling's okay, but like,
you'll still go with a group of friends and drink.
If you're old enough to remember, if you were a kid when Super Nintendo was out, like me, I can guarantee part of your routine that was really fun was either go to the movies or go to like a mall or to go bowling.
Yep. Or a skate rink.
And there's plenty of small towns that have bowling alleys, at least one, So I'm sure that everybody in that
town, it's within very reasonable driving distance.
It would be hard for me to believe that somebody doesn't have at least somewhat of a pleasant bowling memory.
Yeah.
So once again, it's a game that's pretty easy to learn. You're hitting pins, trying to score the most you can. Difficult to master, just like anything else,
Actually, I have a couple little fun facts about bowling.
Okay, well, do you want to come at us with fun facts now, or do you want to hit us at the end?
I'll hit you right now with them. Did you know that the distance from the moment that the lane starts to the first pin is the exact distance of a Major League pitcher mound to home base?
I did not know that.
And also the hardest pin to knock down is the king pin, and he's in the center. He's surrounded by all the soldiers.
Okay. Well, I've always heard that if you stand on the second arrow and aim for the second arrow, you should technically always get a strike.
That's if you don't do any spin.
Yes, I'm not a spinner.
I am, dude. I'm a spinner.
I'm not. I don't care. What I prefer is you give me one of them light ass balls. Just let me sling that son of a bitch down there. I don't want no 22 pound ball slinging it.
You want that kid?
Yes, I want that pink ass ball, and I want to. And the bad part is, it's got to be one like there's.
That's no run. No wonder your thumb hurts.
Well, there's only like 2 of them in every bowling alley that you can actually get your damn monolith thumb in.
Because you're using a child's ball.
No. Don't come at me with this.
You're using a kid's ball and slinging that thing down there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I always call it a women's ball.
No. Actually, I think anything under 9 pounds is technically ranked as women's or kids. I think women starts at 9, actually. And
9 and up, I don't have fun with. I'm just going to say that. So I will say one thing too is when you think of bowling, if you tell me, hey, name one name brand of bowling, I can probably only name one. I would say it's fucking Brunswick.
That's all that I think of.
And so why not? If you're gonna put a bowling game out there, I feel like Brunswick is missing out if they do not get their name on something.
Yeah.
Look at this motherfucker right here.
He looks serious. What's funny is he looks like the very dad bod of Chuck Norris.
I will say one thing, though. I bet if you've ever bowled once or 10 times, everybody wants to do that little leg kick once, Do
it every time. I'm a spinner. And that's how you can tell somebody spins.
I actually, in college, took a bowling class. I withdrew from it because I signed up for it, and somehow they told me, hey, we got to be at the bowling alley at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I showed up the first time, and I said, fuck this shit. I'm withdrawing. And so I would have probably failed bowling because I was not waking up in college to go fucking bowl.
Well, you got to catch those snakes for church.
That's true. All right, well, I've not got anything else left on the build of it. Josh, is there anything you want to talk about as far as bowling itself? Or is there a plot in this that I've missed?
No, just win.
It is it's pretty vanilla game.
Yeah, just win. No, I'm not going to lie. I enjoy bowling. I used to go all the time. Me and my cousin, that was our routine. Me and him were the black sheeps of the family. So, we always wanted to go out and do things like that. And at one point in time, me and him was up at the bowling alley once a week for a solid 4 to 6 hours, depending.
I feel like I could have got really hot and heavy into bowling if the town that we lived in had it. But it was like 2 neighboring towns that always had it. And, just, I don't know, wrong time, wrong place.
Yeah.
But I know, by God, if you you go on a night where there's league play, I think most of the places around here won't even let you play when they've got league play. But by God, these motherfuckers take some shit serious, you know.
You got to know the people. That's where my cousins would go. Like, we actually got into league, and they were reserved our lane because they were wanting us to join the league.
One of the high schools down in Athens, I think they've got a bowling alley. They've actually got a bowling team.
Yeah, I think so, too.
So, anyways, we're going to go ahead and jump in.
Sequoia does.
Sequoia has a bowling team.
My senior year, they had a bowling league, a bowling team.
Well, we also Sequoia had a swimming team, which was one person.
And didn't have a pool. No, the pool's up on the roof. Never mind, I forgot where it was.
Nobody, I'll go ahead and tell you, nobody knew that there was a goddamn swimming team until it was the one person had their picture in the fucking paper, or in the yearbook. Yes. And I think they only did that just because his mom was like a teacher or some shit. I don't know. Whatever.
Where the fuck did he go practice? The lake?
I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. There's more to the story that probably isn't appropriate for the podcast. We'll just leave it at that.
Banging dudes got it.
Something like that. I don't know if there was any, but it wasn't from like if the dudes tried, you know.
Got it. Dude, we talk about everything on here. Who cares? We might actually get more views.
He was a true seaman.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
All right. We're going to go ahead and jump into Make It and Break It, Josh. Can you guess what my first Make It is?
It's a fucking bowling game, and it follows the rules of bowling.
It follows the fundamental rules of bowling. So, yes, that is the first one. I laughed as I wrote it down, the same as I'll probably write on every sports game.
Except for one sports game.
Which one was it? Hit the ice or something like that? I can't remember which sports.
Maybe that one, but also if we ever do blitz, any type of NFL blitz, that does not follow the fundamental rules of football.
It kind of follows the fundamental. Maybe not the rules part as much, but... all right, so... It's a bowling game. It's not going to take me a whole lot to get through my Make It, and I'm not beating it up too bad. But it does follow fundamental rules of bowling.
Yep.
And this bowling game, I give it, wants to go more realistic.
More traditional.
And it's Brunswick. With that name, they're traditionally, to me, as an ignorant person of bowling that doesn't follow it, that's the only name I know in bowling.
The only two things I know about Brunswick is bowling.
In the town.
And Sea Ray.
Okay.
Because Sea Ray is technically Brunswick Boats.
I did not know
And they're
that.
the same company under Brunswick Bowling, so that's the only thing that I got.
So, if I'm going to get a realistic game, I feel like Brunswick's going to be the one. And, you know, to me, I don't know that Brunswick really made a game like this to... I would imagine that Brunswick's such a big company that they're making their money.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think a video game really helps them make that much money. I feel like they probably got their name on a video game like this to try to get people interested in bowling.
That's my thought process.
So I think that's where you're going to end up getting... and which, you know, I will say, to get into base level bowling is relatively cheap. Compared to a lot of other sports, like golf, you're going to have to buy probably $1,000 set of golf clubs and all this stuff. So you can spend as much money as you want. I do know that. But if you just wanted to buy a bowling ball or go use one at a alley and buy, technically you can rent all the shit that you need.
About to say, my cousin, he got into league play, and he spent about $500 for the shoes and 3 custom bowling balls.
But that's pretty cheap now.
That's very cheap.
I think like some of these kids now even playing Little League Baseball, like some of these kids are walking in there with a couple grand in their bat bag.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
We shared 3 bats. That's all we ever had in our damn.
And each one
and we only had 2 damn
gloves.
We only had 2 damn
cups?
batting helmets.
Oh, I was going to say cups.
No, so it was like, I think all the teams would get together and like share batting helmets even between both teams if you had more than 2 people on base.
Yeah.
But anyways, so they do have realistic. Now I've seen it on TV before, and I'm not going to pretend to say that I watch bowling in real life week in and week out. But I do remember that they play on 2 different alleys from what I've seen, or at least they used to. So that is one thing I did like about this. It had the realistic aspect, is you weren't just rolling on one lane; that it actually made you roll on 2 lanes.
Well, see, now
which I think some of that probably is to speed the game up.
It is, but it's also the fun fact about that is during league night. That's not how it works. But during singles competition, yes, like an actual tournament for a single player, you play on 2 lanes, and it sucks because me, as a right-hander, how I bowl, I hate being constricted to the ball return on the left side. I hate that lane with a fiery fucking passion.
Do you throw 2 balls, or do you wait for the 1 ball to come back? I'm like a traditionalist. I want to let the 1 ball come back.
No.
Unless I've just been out there drinking, I'm just like, all right, well, I'm having a good time. I just want to go ahead and throw the damn ball and be done with it.
No, 2-baller.
2 ball.
I always do a black and a blue one.
A little 2 package.
Yep, I always do a black and a blue one.
All right, so another thing that I got in here on Make It, and you can jump in on any of these, is it is pretty real. Well, I've got in here, I guess I've already covered it, but I said it's Brunswick, so they're the name of bowling.
Yep.
So I give it the tip of hat there.
Yep.
And it is trying to be as realistic as possible. You've got wool patterns, ball weight that you can customize.
You got the hook and
the spins.
Yeah.
And so I've got in here, and with all due respect, because I'm a nerd in my own rights. Well, I'm just a fucking nerd. I've just got really weird shit that I'm more nerdy about than others. I said all the customization is cool. If you're a bowling nerd, you'll probably love this.
Yeah, it's super technical.
So, yeah, I'm not a bowling nerd, so it's just okay. It's like
I like it because of the technical stuff of it. But yeah, I mean, at one point in time, I thought I would get really heavy into it, and then I just stopped. I didn't really. I mean, it's still fun, but I got tired of wasting. Not really wasting, but I got tired of going out there and doing, 4 to 6 hours once or twice a week.
Well, it's a lot of the same stuff. The repetition. You're going to the same place, bowling on the same alleys. They're probably playing the same mix of music. You're seeing the same people. Like, I mean, you might see families, but you're seeing everybody's doing the same thing. So it's very monotonous. So if it's something I feel like you can zone in on, then it's like completely for you. But for me, I'm like a damn dog with ADD. I don't know what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
3 minutes from now, much less.
Oh, you're at the bowling alley. There's 2 things you want to do. You're on throw the ball as hard as you can, and you're going to pound down some beer.
That is exactly it. And after a game or two, I mean, hey, I will say too, you're gonna have a different experience bowling if you've got 2 people bowling against each other, or a group of like 6 people. And it's goddamn painful when you got 6 people trying to get everybody up. I mean, it's more fun, maybe. It's like one game, and I'm like, I'm fucking done. Like, Yin's bowl, I'm gonna sit here and heckle all of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pound down some beer. But also, that's another rule of thumb that me and my friends always do whenever we go bowling. You don't use your real name. You make up an alias, and you keep that alias until you lose.
Have you ever signed in as Chuck Money?
No, I have not. I've been saving Chuck Money.
Okay.
But I was, at one point in time, what was it? I think I ran through all the Power Rangers at one point in time, all the Ninja Turtles. The longest one that I was for the longest time is I think I was Papa Smurf for about like a year and a half.
Okay. I hope you're undefeated while you're Papa Smurf.
Yeah, that's the rule. That's the rule.
So here is my last Make It, Josh. And this is probably stupid. Well, I know it is stupid, but this is where I'm at on it. After you bowl, whether it's good or bad, the little celebration window that pops up, I enjoyed it. And the reason I enjoyed it is it kind of took me back to a fucking bowling alley. Because it's like, after you bowled, whether it was a strike or you left a fucking split or whatever, it popped up like a little TV with your guy reacting. Which reminds me of, when you go to a cool bowling alley, and I think all of them probably do it nowadays, that when you bowl and like you get a strike, you get like a little funny animation.
Yeah, you get a cool
animation. Something like that. So it kind of reminded me of that. So to me, it was like, that reminds me of some of the cool parts of bowling.
Yeah.
And, so, to me, that was one of my favorite parts of the whole game, which is pretty sad to say. But that is all I've got on me.
Let's say, did you ever get a custom celebration for getting a turkey? Because I never got a turkey.
I never got a turkey. And I think I've got a turkey in real life one time, and it was, like, complete dumb luck. But I did not do any custom celebrations. I did not... the game didn't pique my interest enough to get into anything like that. So, other than... It was very monotonous to me. So, other than I kind of had to force myself to power through some of this gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I have a lot going on with Jennifer being down with her knee surgery and everything like that. I put in, I would say maybe 2 hours into it, so I didn't really get to do a deep dive. But I mean, I played enough to know what's going on.
I'll go ahead and tell you, 2 hours is probably. I mean, that's probably what I got into it, but there's nothing that I think you can say after 45 minutes of this game that you could say if you played it 20 hours.
Yeah.
You know? But anyways, I've not got anything else. Do you have anything on your heart that you want to talk about that you liked with this game? I mean, you did have a lot of options.
You did. That's what I was about to say. You had a ton of options, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I like the customization aspect that you got to create your character, change the slight look of what they look like. And then you got to choose which 2 balls you wanted to use, you know.
Which, I'm not big on my custom characters. I mean, I like to put my name on there, and I don't really care what they look like and stuff. But I did put myself a little bit of a Tennessee Vol.
Oh, you want that?
So, yeah, I had to have a little orange on, and I did. But, you know, it was kind of like the right... the Goldilocks part of customization. Yeah. So, like, go to like MLB The Show nowadays, and you're customizing 6,000 different things, which are all relatively cool, and it makes it very easy to make a player look like you. I didn't want this in this game, and this game didn't give me that. It was literally like shirt, shoes, pants. Yeah. So my customization of my bowler, which I was very plain Jane, just went with my normal name. I think it probably took me maybe 10 minutes. And I think it took me 10 minutes and I didn't save it right. And then I had to go back and do it again.
Yeah.
So
see, I created choke money, of course.
Okay.
Purple shirt, orange pants, red and blue shoes. And that's all I remember.
Anything else you got that you like with it?
No, but I can bring it straight into the break it side.
All right, bring me on in here.
So one of the things that irritated me is I went in because I done the first expedition or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay, so I'm going to try this tournament down here. Like, I'm just going to click one of these tournaments and see what asks for a password, passkey. Where the fuck do you get that? Like, do you make something? I tried to make something up and it didn't let me.
Okay. This is down in here, and my exact quote is a weird password system for the tournaments.
Yeah.
So, not that I'm an expert in.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Hang on. Let's get this right here. Ready. Okay.
The way I understand this is you can enter the open tournaments.
Yeah.
And you have to win the open tournaments to get invited into the other ones. So as weird as a fucking password system is, most of the time you say traditionally a password is like, hey, let me get to the level where I left off. Yeah. Or like Mike Tyson's box out or punch out. Hey, this gets me to this tier.
Yeah.
Mega Man
gets you to whichever levels you unlocked at the time with whatever armor you have.
So their password system was to unlock tournaments, which is really weird, and the passwords weren't really easy passwords, and I felt like I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
I thought it was incredibly weird. It did a poor job. Now, I can read the manual maybe on here, and it probably explains it, but for somebody who just wants to put the game in and play it, it is very hard to follow on how the hell you're supposed to get this. Plus, as I'm playing, I'm not ready for a fucking password. All of a sudden, it spits me a fucking password out. I'm like, what the hell's a password for?
Yeah.
So, yes, that was very frustrating that it's going to show you all these tournaments. I mean, at least in modern day, those tournaments will be grayed out unless you do an achievement to get there. I don't know. You were right. It was really weird trying to figure that part out.
I mean, I get it. I sort of get it because the some of the Nintendo games didn't have a save state for them. Mm-hmm. Right, like I'm right about that.
So here's one thing that just struck me out of the box is, boy, they dirty dicked it. And I will tell you, I wasn't a huge fan of the music, but it wasn't really necessarily the music was that bad. There just really wasn't any other sound than you took the music, dude, and I think the music was probably overall above average for what I think a fucking bowling game would be. But
especially back in the 90s.
Other than the ball striking the pins, there was no other music. Or no other sounds, nothing else to engage.
No ambient.
You left the music on an island. And it was just like fucking sink or swim.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that strong enough. Like, I don't know what you could have did for music that would have made it.
You could have had ambient sound. If you go to a bowling alley, there's other pins dropping. Yeah, a little chatter. There's other pins dropping.
But most of this time, you're just listening to that music, which is cool. If you're confident in what you're doing, you put it out there, and you just let that shit bang. But I'm like, it's a bowling game.
Yeah. I'll say, give me somebody deep throating a microphone saying that they need a pin pickup on lane whatever.
Yeah, something like that. So here's a big one. This is pretty fucking horrible. So I'm okay. This once again goes in the category of what I would consider super weird.
Super weird.
So when the graphics, the ball like struck the pins, I thought was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But the part where your guy's walking up looks a little grainy, and I'm like, hey, these graphics are a little sus. But for the love of God, when I bowl, why is my ball vibrating back and forth down the lane? And I'm like, what the hell is this? Once it, and it's not like it's really great graphics as you bowl, and then the ball is just fucking vibrating like it's a tuning fork, and then all of a sudden you get like pretty good graphics where the ball is striking the pins.
Yeah,
and so like the graphics,
the graphics wasn't flawless. I don't want to say flawless; they weren't fluid.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that.
I thought you were going to have a problem with the way the dude shimmy.
I didn't. Well, it was just so bad watching that damn ball go down.
It was, but the shimmy was pretty like I can demonstrate the shimmy.
Okay, show me.
Dude went like this. He straight up had the ball like this, and the shimmy was.
Oh yeah.
Like that was the shimmy side to side. It was fucking terrible.
I will confirm for, obviously you can't see what Josh did do. That was horrible.
They take this like creeper sidestep.
So, and this may be me right here. I think the physics that they put in this game is tough to play with. And this is really two things that go into one. Yeah, I get up there and I bowl the ball exactly where I'm aiming, regardless if you're using spin or if you're just using power. And then I go to the other lane and I do the exact same thing, and my fucking ball goes straight into the gutter.
Yeah.
And I get it. There's different oil patterns and stuff, but it's like, for the love of God. So I literally have to find my spot in both lanes, which are drastically different. Is that the way it is in real life? Maybe. I don't know, because I've never played like that.
I know that's how it is in tournaments like this, because that's why they tell you ball one, ball two.
So sometimes it's just like the ball just swerves the fuck out of control into a different area that you're not intending for no reason.
Yep.
Which comes into, I don't know where the ball is going to go every time I fucking throw it. Now, mind you, in real life, I don't know where the ball is going every time I fucking throw it. But in a damn bowling game, when I'm lined up and I'm fucking basically got my bullseye pointing toward that, and I get the proper power that I want, and I get the proper spin, and I hit it the way I want, and my ball just randomly goes into the fucking gutter. I'm like, come on, man. Like, now, mind you, like say, I'm ignorant to bowling. Maybe that's the way it really fucking is. But I'm pretty sure in real life, when I throw the fucking ball where I'm aiming, as long as I don't, like, break my wrist or do anything stupid, the ball goes where the fuck I'm aiming. It did not in this game.
It does, but also, I think it depends on which ball you chose at the time, too, of selection.
I chose the light ball. The lightest ball I could.
Figured.
And to go into, like, your customization and stuff like that, I did feel like when you get into this game, there's a lot of build-up for just wanting to play. So,
there was. It seems like they wanted you to build your character to make you feel like you invested something in this.
And I guess I should put in the make it is like they did have real pros in there, which is cool.
They did,
and I bet these guys probably didn't make money for shit over having their name in there, other than just notoriety. Or like I said, I feel like this game is probably more, instead of making a quick game for cash grab, just try to get people interested in bowling.
Yeah,
but they just seemed like there was a lot of build up just to want to bowl, and whether it's creating your character or try to fight your way through these tournaments to try to see which ones you entered, it's like it wasn't cool for me. There wasn't a whole lot of replayability for me in this game.
There wasn't.
I mean, like I say, there's different oil patterns and different tournaments, but I mean, it's still fucking bowling.
Yeah, it's bowling.
And that's part of it. Like you said, if I say, hey man, let's go bowl. Let's go tomorrow and go bowl. And I'd say, in a perfect world, how many games are we going to go bowl? You might say, hey, we're bowling 3 games. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm good for 2. Could you imagine if you bowled, like, 10 games? If me and you just got there at, like, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and bowled 10 games. Dude, we're going to be fucking gassed. We're going to be so worn out. Yeah. And I kind of feel the same way with this game. If I played 10 games back to back to back to back, I'm wore the fuck out with playing goddamn bowling.
Now, see, in my perfect world, it is 3 games.
3 is pretty solid.
Because...
1's like a warm-up.
2 is you're drunk by that point. 3, you need to sober down.
3 is where I'm going to beat your ass. And you're...
That's all the
You either got beat so bad in game 2 that game 3 is we're just going to bowl crazy, or it was so close it's like, oh, I'm going to try this time.
Yeah, now it's like, all right. No more alcohol. Here we go.
So I'm going to say the game is very bland to me. Very vanilla. It's fucking bowling. But here's... This one is, I've got 2 more things on Break It. I said, I've never went to a bowling alley just to watch people bowl.
No.
Like, I've been at a bowling alley and be like, hey, I don't feel like bowling, and had a few drinks and put some money in the jukebox and maybe played a little Big Buck Hunter and been cool with it.
Yeah.
But I've never went just to witness somebody bowling. And I bet it would be really fucking boring.
To watch this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I felt like this game was like you just went to a bowling alley to watch somebody bowl.
Yeah. Big Buck Hunter.
The solid game. I've got Big Buck Hunter on Switch, and there is a reason why I've not charged my Switch or put it in that Switch, because I know it will consume me. That Big Buck Hunter with the damn shotgun.
Yeah.
That may be the best arcade game that's ever fun. Maybe not like technical the best one, but I've never had more fun than on a fucking Big Buck Hunter.
Yeah.
Or Big Turkey Hunter. Or Big Game Hunter.
Yeah, the
Big
Game Hunter. I like the Big Game Hunter personally.
I mean, that's better than the fucking claw machine at a damn Super
I actually have Big Game Hunting on my PlayStation. It was on sale. I bought it for like $8. Haven't played it, but I got it.
Do you have anything else on your heart for breaking on this game?
No, I mean, I do. I will say this. I'm glad you didn't pick apart the whole power and spin meter.
No, and I don't...
Because it made sense.
I kind of like the power and spin meter.
It made sense.
And I will say, it wasn't easy to where I hit it every time I wanted. Yeah. Like in real life, you're not... I mean, it's easy to say, here's how to get a strike. Are you going to throw that ball the exact same every time? No. And it's the same as, even though I felt pretty confident that I would get the ball relatively close, I never got... I mean, I could probably count on two hands how many times that I got the power and the spin exactly where I wanted. Now, some of them still led to strikes and stuff, and I wasn't too far off, but I felt like that was kind of realistic. So I actually like that part.
Yeah, I'm glad, because I did too. Like, it wasn't a full make it, but it's also not a full break it. It's right there in the middle of the road.
It's kind of like when you played the old school golf games where you had like the 3-click system where you click, power click, and then you
got to get back down for the accuracy.
It was like a bowling version of that, and I was okay with that. Of course, I like that type of system.
I do too. I'm a fan of the 3-click.
So I've got the biggest.
Yep.
It's not a fault to this game, but it's not Wii bowling. Wii bowling, I'm gonna stand on a fucking mountain. That may be the best fucking bowling game that's ever existed. Like, not that I've played a whole lot of bowling games. I mean, I've played some Wii like elf bowling back in the day. But it's like, I feel like Wii bowling, and maybe there is better games to it, but Wii bowling is that constant that everything's graded against.
Yeah, Wii bowling took bowling to another level. It certainly did.
So when you say, hey man, I'm just going to say 99 out of 100 times, you say, hey, let's talk about bowling video games. Somebody's going to say, oh, Wii bowling?
Yeah.
Like, it's not
I'll
Wii
fuck
bowling.
you up in Wii bowling.
Wii bowling was so fucking fun. Especially when you got like the 100 pin set up. Ah, so fun.
Now, that was fun before you figured out the cheat.
Oh, yeah, where you get a strike every time or aim for the right spot. I can't remember exactly, but I do remember.
There's two of them. There's one you aim for, I think, the very right pin. No, very right pin. And then the other one is you got to throw the bowling ball on top of the ball return on the left side.
Okay. I did
not
know
that. It's a perfect strike every single time.
So I feel like it's probably unfair to grade the game against Wii bowling.
It is.
Because Wii bowling wasn't out then, but Wii bowling
came out roughly 20 years later.
I'm just telling you, Wii Sports was a solid fucking disc.
Wii Sports?
I liked goddamn Wii Golf. I was addicted to Wii Golf.
Wii Golf was good. I liked Wii Tennis.
Yeah, tennis was good. Baseball was fun, playing some home run derby.
Yeah.
What was it? It was tennis, golf,
bowling,
baseball. Wasn't there one more?
Basketball.
Oh, basketball wasn't in it.
Right? I thought basketball was in it. Or was basketball Wii Resort? Because I know Wii Resort had...
I never played sports resorts. So.
Yeah, I know one of them had archery and stuff like that.
Okay. You had golf, boxing.
Boxing, that was it.
That was what everybody was really excited about, and then everybody liked the other games too.
So
which during the pandemic, just saying, Wii Sports, I knew people that had like such a stack of Wii Sports, like they probably had 50 Wii Sports discs. They were using them for target practice. And then fucking COVID hit, and all the prices of Wii spiked.
Yeah.
Like, not just games, but the systems.
Yeah.
And I've sold, I bet you, 70 copies of Wii Sports for over $20. And I just think about these poor dudes that have been shooting these damn discs up on the fucking hillside of target practices. Like, dude, I guess watch you, like, shoot $2,000 over, like, the period of 6 months. Like,
yeah.
Of course, that was before COVID, but whatever, you know. So I'm going to tell you, I don't have any fun fact. Do you have anything left on your heart on making or breaking on this,
No,
Josh?
I'm good.
I don't have any fun facts.
I've already said them.
So I'm glad you brought a few to the table here. I've got some price charting. I've got ranking. I've not actually. I didn't even think to look up the speed run.
I was about to say, don't tell me this is on the IGN Top 100 list.
It is not on the IGN Top 100 list. Let me look at speedrun.
What? I mean,
I don't know. I don't think that this would. I know I was forgetting something.
If it did, I mean, God, I wouldn't even know how you would.
Oh my God!
There is
a game listed for Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. Hang on, my slow ass internet's trying to pull it up.
I'm about to get big boy internet.
What are you getting?
Spectrum. They're running the lines right now down the road.
What have you been using?
Like AT&T.
Uverse or something?
Yeah.
All right. There is speedruns.
Yep.
There isn't a whole lot. I'm just going to run through these real quick.
I say, since we're here, might as well.
We're here. Brunswick World Tournament Champions, Super Nintendo, is the only system that is released. We've got quick game percent, perfect percent, and tournament percent. So, quick game percent, let me look at the rules. Timer starts when you press play and ends as soon as the final ball falls in the pit or the last pin falls, whichever comes first. Pausing is legal, but the timer will continue throughout the duration of the pause.
Ooh.
Any bowler, configuration, ball, or oil pattern are legal. Audio must be present for the entire run. So, one person leaves a note, says definitely some chance for time save. One person, 1 year ago, out of Wichita, Kansas, Kylo Strawberry.
Okay.
Baby Kylo Ren's cousin.
Yep.
Why do you think a speedrun on just a normal game? Just from the start of the game to the end of the game.
20 minutes?
2 minutes, 22 seconds.
What?
So they're just boom, boom, boom. Like they're throwing this thing immediately. So perfect percent is
So they don't care about gutterball or anything like that on that one, right?
No. So this is perfect percent. So this has to be bowling a 300.
Yeah, that's what I would say. This has to be bowling a 300.
So he did quick game as 2 minutes 22 seconds. They left notes. Depending on your strategy and ability to multitask, there's time to be saved. Kylo Strawberry did it in 2 minutes and 29 seconds. So literally 7 seconds, and he threw perfect percent. So then you got tournament percent, which I'm guessing you're playing a whole tournament.
Yeah.
Nobody's completed that.
That's fine.
So you can actually get your name into the lore of speedrun.com on Brunswick World Tournament of Champions.
I'm good.
If you decide to play a whole tournament and complete it.
I'm good.
Not for you. You rather play the Pac-Man co-op?
Yeah, I think that means you can go on the Pac-Man one.
Okay. So we're gonna go on to price charting, Josh. I'm actually gonna pull up since this game actually I just had happened to purchase from an eBay seller I follow, and I was like, oh shit, I bet this game will make it here before our podcast, and I don't have it. So I'll tell you how much I paid for this game. Tell you if I got a fucking deal or not. What would you guess a loose copy of Brunswick World Tournament of Champions cost, Josh?
Say a solid 12.
You're pretty good. Let me multitask here. You're high.
I'm high?
Yeah.
Okay.
Loose like a goose.
I say then 950.
Still high.
Still high. 7?
Still high, brother.
The plastic itself is worth $7.
Well, you would think. I mean, it's a sports game, and it's a bowling game that probably nobody cares about, to be quite honest.
So you're looking at like 5-ish.
$4.95.
Yeah.
Shows 2 sales a month on a loose copy. 1 sale a month on a complete copy. What do you think a complete copy of this is, Josh? I don't know how your formula works on a $4.95 game.
I'm going to say $20.
You're high.
$12.
You're pretty close enough. A complete copy at $11.25.
Okay.
A crisp, plastic around it, looking good, sealed copy. What do you think it cost?
$42.
You're pretty high.
$20.
$22.25. So according to price charting, and that's all I went with was what price charting had because it's fucking Brunswick bowling. They said a complete copy sells for $11.25. So what I paid for this game, Josh, is I am pretty cheap, but I'm also, a
collector.
It's there. A game I don't have. Bear with me. So I bought several games, so I got combined shipping, so I'm probably right on pace. I bought it complete for $7.50.
Okay.
So even though they are telling me that... Hang on, let me find my...
You got the bundle deal.
So I bought it for $7.50. They told me it completes $11.25. With my combined shipping from the buyer I bought it from, it was $3. It was actually international. So I really paid $10.50.
Yeah.
So I was within 75% of complete. But and I don't have like the best looking box. I could have probably held out, but it was there, and I'm like, hey, I don't have this game, and I haven't tied to this game because we've already had it. So I'm like, why not?
And it's funny that you bought 2 sports games that we have talked about.
And a game that I did not know was developed by TierTex. Yeah. I also bought of NBA Live 98.
Yeah.
So it was like, that's kind of cool too. So, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, there's a lot of fucking games. I'm telling you, I ain't spending $20 on, I ain't spending $40. I got it complete for $10.
Yeah.
There ain't a whole lot of complete games, cartridge-based games that I can get complete that I won't buy for $10. If you got cartridge games that are complete, in box, that you want to sell for $10, you holler at me. I don't give a shit what they are. I will buy them.
Buy them all day, every day, as long as they're not repros.
Yes, nothing repro. No repro boxes, no repro carts. I might actually buy a plain box for $10 with no game in it, but the ultimate question is, we're going to call it a $5 game, Josh. If I gave you $5 or $2.50, which would you choose, the game or the $2.50?
I'd probably keep the game.
I would choose the game because I don't like fucking change.
Yeah.
And I don't want to either. Is that a valid argument?
No, it just reminds me of a guy at work. So, just a little loose. Dude came in, changed out his art supports and everything like that. He's like, hey, I need some new socks. Okay, cool. Bought some socks, bought some shoes. We had a shoe sale, so if you want some shoes right now, we have a couple of them that are on sale. Total was like $131, right?
Okay.
So he had the cash, but he didn't want to change back, so he paid $130 with cash. And then the $1.06 on card because he refused to have change.
I get it. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, if I gave you $2.50, if I gave you, and this is my defending of the game, is the game that good? No, it's not good. I didn't like the game a lot, but you know, if I give you $2.50 today, Josh, and you walk out this door, and then I say next week, hey, what'd you do with $2.50? There's two answers of I don't know, or it's still in my car. And I can guarantee that $2.50 either going to a damn Kit Kat bar, and that's probably all you're getting, or a fucking soda. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take a piece of vintage plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest.
And even then, I might even tell you keep the 50 cents. Just give me the $2.
Yes. And I mean, if you told me $5 of this car, I'm probably still keeping the car.
That's me. That's what I was saying. I think
it's just so cheap. It's not that it's that good. It's just so cheap.
Yeah.
All right. Time to rank these mofos. We're
dead even.
We're even, and we don't agree on a lot of stuff, but like, yeah, I mean the proof is in the pudding. You know.
I mean, I know where I'm putting this.
I know exactly where I'm putting mine too. So I'm gonna go on a wild guess. Let me go ahead and read through the rankings. Sunset Riders is number 1 for both of us. Battle T's and Double D's, Battletoads and Double Dragon is number 2. you
forgot about that.
Number 3 is Final Fight Guy. Number 4 is Venom Spider-Man, Separation Anxiety, Radical Rex, and then Speed Racer. So I'm gonna go on just a wild guess and say that on both it's Sunset Riders, Battletoads, and Final Fight are safe.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So then we're going to remain the top 3.
Yeah.
So the ones we're going to say is where is it going to rank between Separation Anxiety, Radical Rex, and Speed Racer. So we're fighting for a spot on Mount Rushmore,
We are.
Josh.
We are.
You can go first if you want, sir. I've got mine ranked up here.
Well, I know where mine's going. I'll go ahead and say it.
Okay.
Put mine at number 5.
You got yours at number 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm keeping Venom Spider-Man Separation Anxiety on the Mount Rushmore, moving Radical Rex and Speed Racer down. Speed Racer is absolutely a number 7 game. Radical Rex, it was super 90s nostalgia feeling. Overall, it was not a fun game. Controls were terrible. It was just a bad game in general.
So you're saying Brunswick is better than Radical Rex and not Separation Anxiety?
As far as gameplay goes, yes.
I would say Speed Racer is god awful.
Yeah.
This game is not great. It is not as bad as Speed Racer.
Speed Racer is in a contender for that Untouchables mark.
I don't know. I think Untouchables still.
I mean, it still is. It's still bad.
It could be right above it.
It's going to be down there.
I cannot remember what we have above Untouchables. But, yeah, you're right. It's in the conversation.
It's in the conversation.
We're going to have a new edition in the bottom 5 at least.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So I agree. Separation Anxiety is better. So it really comes down to is Radical Rex or Brunswick better? Me personally, I've got Radical Rex 1 spot ahead of Brunswick.
I think that's fine.
And I may be a little more 90s kid than you are, even though I don't have any ties to Radical Rex or this game.
No.
I end up putting Brunswick at number 6.
See, and that's one of the things, is yes, I was born in 90. By all technicality, my 90s era didn't really start holding and taking part of my brain until I was like 8 years old.
I was going to say, you're probably talking 98 before
Yeah.
you can even remember shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember like 1987. I ain't got a whole lot of shit that I can tell you about 87.
But
Most of my
the
core
90s.
memories are the 90s.
Yeah.
So I get it. Now,
So, like I said, I'm late 90s, early 2000s.
so my problem is Radical Rex is a little bit more, 90-ish, and I kind of relate to that. But at the same time, Brunswick is kind of going for the realistic. It's close.
Yeah.
It is close.
I mean, I can't fault you for it.
And they're both not good games.
No.
I just feel like Radical Rex, I tip a little. I give it a little bit more. I would say it's a more original game, Radical Rex. But the problem is the Brunswick game
Follows
is
the
trying
fundamentals.
to be more realistic than creative. I guess that's what it. I guess is creativity versus realistic. So I'm looking here, Josh. Let me make sure I get your rankings on here correct.
I'll say mine is right there, number 5.
Gotta make sure to get you here. Number 5 is Brunswick. So we failed miserably last week. Predictions.
On calling a shot, 100%
Yes.
we did.
It's happened like one time, and we've blown our wad.
Yeah.
What are you predicting, brother?
Okay. Hear me out.
I'm
Hear me out.
all ears.
Okay. I'm going full. You got to follow this red web that I'm going to draw out.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to
Okay.
draw, it out for you.
This is like the crime scene
Yep.
investigation.
I'm going to write it out for you right here.
Okay.
Okay? So, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, Brunswick. What we know about Brunswick. There's 2 things that I primarily know, and I've already said both of them. You got bowling
And boats.
and boats. So, you got the BBs of Brunswick, which makes them triple B.
Would boats also be boats and hoes, or
See,
boats are just boats?
Boats are just boats right now. Because we don't have GTA. If we
Okay.
had GTA, I would definitely went to hose, and my shot would have been GTA.
Okay.
So we got boats and bowling. All right. There's only one other bowling game.
Correct.
Right. So the
Think
chance.
it's Super Bowling. I can't remember the name.
So that is a very low possibility. Very
Then
low.
we have
But
defied
it is
all
possible.
odds.
It is possible.
The FX chip has defied those odds,
Yeah,
Josh.
that's what I'm saying. So with that shit, the possibilities are still pretty decent right there. But with boats, there's one thing that comes with boats that I know of. All right, and that is water sports.
Okay.
Okay. I don't remember if this is a SNES or if it's a 64 game.
Wave Race is a 64 game.
But wasn't there one before that?
No.
Okay, so there throws out my water sports. Okay.
Alright. Okay. I'm drawing yarn across
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. Okay. So still with boats, Brunswick, fishing.
Fishing. Or maybe super black bass.
Yeah. I'm going with fishing now. Because I couldn't remember if wave runners, wave racers, or
Wave Race was 64. I remember that because I
can't
was in high school, freshman,
Yeah.
maybe sophomore in high school when 64 came out.
See, I don't know if there was like a jet ski game or like a hydro sports or anything like that for the SNES, but I'm going to go fishing or I'm just going to classify it as water sports. Water sports, just in case.
And hey,
There could be. There's over 700 of these fuckers out here.
I would even give F-Zero to maybe even like a boat top game because even though it's kind of technically a race car, I don't know.
Yeah, they float. Boats float.
So I'm going to call my shot. I'll be right back.
Oh, he's actually going to go grab something. Okay, that's interesting.
So I bought this game inadvertently. Well, the auction had already started before we drew this game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the game that I bought in this bundle.
Okay.
So when I bought this game, I bought like 6 or 7 other games, got a pretty good deal on it. And so it's going to be one of 5 other games.
Okay.
We're going to get one that is a tier text game that is NBA Live 98,
Does not sound good as Live 95.
Tetris 2,
Tetris 2.
Madden 98,
Madden 98.
FIFA International Soccer,
Don't want another soccer game.
or Stanley Cup.
So you're thinking one of those 5.
It will be one of these 5. Stanley Cup International. You know, maybe we're due for a football game.
We are due for a football game.
And I'll go ahead and tell you, Super Tecmo Bowl.
Oh, dude, I will fuck you up in Tecmo Bowl.
It is a banger.
There's only 2 rules in Tecmo Bowl.
You can't have, well, regular Tecmo Bowl, I remember you couldn't have goddamn Bo Jackson.
You can't
or
have
Mike Singletary. It was like.
Or Barry or Deion Sanders.
Okay.
I said those were. I knew you couldn't have Bo Jackson. I knew you couldn't have Deion. I didn't
that is regular NES.
Yeah.
So I think in the Super NES, the Cowboys are way overpowered because you got Emmett, Irvin.
Yeah. Super Tecmo Bowl. Like I said, you still got. I think it's the Cowboys where you draw the line, and I think isn't it the Oilers? Because don't they have
Oilers is in there?
Don't they have Earl Campbell?
I don't know if Earl's in there. You probably got Warren Moon, Haywood Jeffries, maybe.
I can't remember. It's been forever.
So you're saying it's a boat game,
water sports,
and I will give you the asterisk if it's the other bowling game.
Okay.
And I'm going pretty much a sports game, I guess is what I'm going to call it. Except for Tetris 2. NBA Live 98, Madden 98, International Soccer, Stanley Cup, and Tetris 2.
Okay.
So we're going to see what happens. See you next week.
Let's see.